am this person. I need food, I need protection, I need praise, I need people around me, I need entertainment, I need to stay young, I need not to die. So all of this comes from a sense of incompleteness.
We have some questions on karma.
On karma, yes, that's always a staple diet.
The first one is from David in Montreal, Canada. He has a question about the permanence of karma and samskaras. What is the nature of the thread that connects samskaras to one jiva, even after deep sleep, even after death of the gross body? How is karma earmarked to one jiva life after life? I am curious as to the nature of this invisible yet resilient connection that we are trying to cut to attain enlightenment. Then from Shubha, if we are all the same witness consciousness and we are all the same God within, how does the law of karma affect us as the Lord is free from all rules? He also has another question. And secondly, I want to ask, what is the purpose of our life?
Okay, that's a small one. All right.
And just one more from Suresh.
Okay.
Suresh, why do you think karma does not adequately answer the problem of evil? As far as I am concerned, the law of karma is a science, and it is more than adequate to answer the problem of evil.
Those are heavy questions. I might forget. Just stay there. If I forget, I'll ask you to repeat the question. The first question was... the first one was about
the permanence of karma and samskaras.
How does
what is the
karma
nature
work?
of the thread?
Yeah, what's the nature of the thread? What connects us? He says, when we fall asleep, deep sleep, and we wake up, we have the same karma. When we die and go on to other lives, same karma. I might even include one more thing. You know, Hinduism believes in a cyclical universe. Universe is created or projected, srishti. And then it exists and evolves over a period of billions of years. By the way, evolution. Somebody asked a question, I don't know if it's included this time. It's included, we'll come to that anyway. So it evolves over billions of years. And then finally it is destroyed again. And then there is nothing for a long time. So if that happens, then where does karma go? If everything in the universe, stars, planets, everything is destroyed, even minds and all of this stuff. So you have to understand what is the meaning of creation, existence, and destruction in Vedanta. Creation, existence, and destruction in Vedanta is nothing but this. Get this. It is the unmanifest becoming manifest, that is called creation and existence. The manifest going back to an unmanifest state, it is called destruction. So for example, you shape, back to the clay and pot, you shape clay into a pot. You say pot has been created. It's not really creation ab initio. It is just the potential pot was already there in the clay. You gave it form. And when you smash the pot and you have fragments left, it has gone back to its clay nature. It was clay earlier, it is clay now, it remains as clay. But a form came, appeared to us, and we used it in particular ways to put water there and store it there. And then the form disappeared. That appearance of the form is called creation, srishti. That existence of that form is called sthiti, existence. And the merging back of the form back to its material cause, pot to clay. We say ashes to ashes, dust to dust. That is called destruction. So in Hinduism, or in all of Hinduism, there is no question of creation of something out of nothing. It's not like a rabbit being pulled out of a magician's hat. There always was something. The question is, was it expressed or not expressed? It was a seed. The entire mango tree or the banyan tree is in the huge tree is in the seed, but not physically in the seed, as information. Now we know, modern biology tells us, the entire information is coded in the RNA and DNA in our cells. It just expresses itself. Give it air and light and nutrients and earth. It uses all of that to express a potential already within itself. Similarly, the universe is created. Now, how to answer this question? When we fall asleep, from our point of view, we go into a potential state, the deep sleep. We did the meditation today, the The is called the physical state, gross state, U is called the subtle state, and is called the potential state. Remember, in the deep sleep potential state, everything that you see and experience in your waking life, in your dreams, it is all there in the deep sleep, just hidden. When you switch off your computer, all your data is there. It's just not expressed, not usable at that time. When you switch it on, it's not gone, thank God. When you switch it on, it's all back there again. Similarly, in deep sleep, it is a potential state, in Sanskrit, abhyakta. So karma does not disappear. The tendencies which we have accumulated in our waking life, they remain in deep sleep in an unexpressed seed form. Gaudapada calls it bija, seed. In a seed form it remains. And it sprouts. When does it sprout? Gaudapada calls it, the dreaming and waking is the sprout. It was there, the same karma, same tendencies continue. One more aspect of this. Karma has two aspects. A personal aspect which is in our minds, our tendencies. But karma also has a cosmic aspect which will give us happiness and pleasure, sukha dukkha in this lifetime and lifetimes to come. It has created this body for us. That part of karma, the cosmic karma, is not in our individual minds. According to dualistic Vedanta, it is in the department of the Lord God. One of the functions of God in Vedanta, in theistic Vedanta, it's called karmadhyaksha or karmadata, the one who gives the results of karma. It's like your bank manager. It's your money, but it's kept, stored safely, we hope. And your bank manager gives it out to you when you ask for it. So there are deposits we make in the cosmic bank of our karma, and we don't know whether it's, unfortunately, not like our bank, the cosmic bank does not give us a account statement at every month or something, automatically generated accounts. No, we don't know really what's happening there. So it's there, and it does not disappear. Now you will say, what happens in the end when the universe is destroyed at the end of the universe? Then what exists? Only God exists with Maya. Remember, destruction means going back to the unmanifest state. The unmanifest state of the universe is called Maya. Brahman with the unmanifest universe is called Ishvara, God. And God projects this unmanifest universe into this manifest form. So karma is never destroyed. It goes on. Even when the universe is destroyed, if I have karma remaining, I will remain merged in Maya, no individual distinction. But when the Lord creates this universe again, He throws us out, manifests us to play and work out our karma again. And this goes on until you get liberation, until you get freedom from this. One Swami put it nicely, that it's a cosmic hide-and-seek game. What do you mean? Right now, when the universe exists, we are all playing, we are searching for God, and God has hidden Himself, herself, itself, whatever you call it. Because in Hinduism, all three are possible. So, God is hidden. The ultimate reality is hidden. And we are playing now, seeking. And when the universe is destroyed at the end, cosmic dissolution, there's no real end because it's all cyclical, it will come back again. In cosmic dissolution, we are all absorbed back into Maya. God alone exists. So God is there, but we have disappeared. We are hidden. So God searched, where did those fellows go? And then He finds us and throws us out, creates the universe again, and hides. And so this is cosmic drama of hide and seek which is going on. Karma is never destroyed. There is a saying, Na bhuktam kshiyate karma janma shatakoti bhirapi. Even in millions of births, karma will not be destroyed unless it gives its results. You will experience the results of your karma. There's only one way out. That is spiritual liberation. So that is the idea of moksha or nirvana in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. Yes. So that's the first question on karma. The second question was, remind me again?
If we are all the same witness consciousness and we are all the same God within, how does the law of karma affect us as the Lord is free from all rules?
Answer is a very encouraging answer. It doesn't affect you. Swami Vivekananda's beautiful poem, Song of the Sannyasi. What does he say? Good, good, bad, bad. And none escape the law. That's the law of karma. Good, good. If you are nice, the result is nice. This life will be nice, and after that you get to go to nice places. Heaven, Beverly Hills or things like that. And then if I am naughty, then we go to the other place. So bad, bad. And then he says, scary, he says, none escape the law. But whosoever wears a form, you limit yourself, body, mind, you become a person, wears the chain too. What is the chain? The chain of karma. Cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect. Endless chain. Every action has a consequence. Cause and effect. It's fair. It's a little pitiless, but it's fair. But here is the question. And Swami Vivekananda says, so what's the point? What's Vedanta? Next line, he says, but far beyond name and form, far beyond karma, is Atman ever free. Know thou art that, sannyasi bold. Say Om Tat Sat Om. O monk, know yourself not as this person. This person is subject to karma, but you are not subject to karma. You never were subject to karma. You always were liberated. You are that infinite, ever free consciousness. Say Om Tat Sat Om. Om, that reality. Om. That is what I am. So is the Lord, ever free Lord, affected by karma? No. Then you will say, but I am the ever free Lord. Yes, but I am affected by karma. Remember, you are affected by karma as this person. The whole tangle comes when we mix up the absolute with the relative. As this person, certainly. Whosoever wears a form wears the chain too. But all of Vedanta goes to show you are not the person. Think about it. We just did the meditation. Waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. Waker is trapped by karma. Even the dreamer is trapped by a kind of karma. Because whatever things you taken in the waking stage, that itself is played out as a dream, like a virtual reality. And deep sleeper doesn't seem to be affected by karma, but remember, it's all there. It'll come up as waking and dreaming. The seed is there. It'll come up as those. But the turiya, the fourth, which plays as these three, that is not affected by karma. You are not affected by karma. Karma is the script which you write to script a theater to create your own Broadway and enjoy it. But the director is not affected by the script. The author of the script is not affected. The playwright is not affected by the script. It's something that he creates spontaneously. What was the third question?
What do you think? Why do you think karma does not adequately
Explain
answer
the
problem
law, explain evil.
Evil, right.
This actually refers back to something I've said a number of times. Look, it goes like this. There is a question which is asked in all theistic religions. If God exists, why is there so much suffering? That's the theistic, dualistic form. The more sophisticated philosophical form was what Bill asked a little earlier. Why does that one absolute appear as all this? Why does the one appear as many, if you are philosophical? Or if you could, just a person suffering in life, you put the same question, not in such a sophisticated philosophical way. You say that if all this is true, God exists, Vedanta is true, or all of this religion is true, then why is there so much suffering? If you investigate a little more, the structure of the question, it seems to be God, if God exists, what kind of God? A personal God, a creator God, an all-powerful God, and an all-loving and good God. What do we think of God as? We think in all the theistic religions, in Christianity, Judaism, in Vaishnavism, in Hinduism, in Shaktaism, in Shaivism, in Islam, in all of the religions or varieties of approaches within Hinduism which believe in personal God. God is always seen as omnipotent, all-powerful, but also good and loving. Now here is the contradiction. If God is all-powerful, God can do everything, can remove our suffering. And if God is loving, God would not want us to suffer. Then how is there suffering possible? You see, if God were not loving, God is a dictator. All-powerful, but not loving. Then we can explain suffering. Why is there suffering? Because the big guy wants it. Why does the big guy want it like that? Is he bad? Yeah, he's bad. And that was the conception of God in some primitive societies earlier, before we went on to more advanced conception of God. So, Robert Wright, who wrote a book called The Evolution of God. It's not that God has evolved, it's that our idea of God has evolved. Swami Vivekananda says, God does not evolve, but our conception of God evolves. So our primitive conception of God was power, all powerful. Next conception of God was justice, powerful but just. You can see how the law of karma comes in there, justice. Then even more advanced, not only just, but loving and forgiving. So God becomes a little more cuddly. He's a nasty, tough guy to begin with, and becomes nice and cuddly, grandfatherly towards the end. But if the problem arises at that point, if God is powerful and loving and nice, then why is there so much trouble? If on the other hand you say God is loving and nice but not powerful, can't prevent this suffering, unfortunately, then you say not much of a God. Fired, laid off, underperforming. The next performance review says you're laid off. You couldn't prevent suffering. All powerful, all loving leads to the problem of evil. What is the problem of evil? Every religion has to explain. If you have such a nice idea of God, if such a God exists, why is there evil in the world? And many answers are there. Many, many answers. You might not think that there are many answers. There's a whole branch of theology called theodicy. What is theodicy? That branch of theology which tries to justify the ways of God to man. Now, God needs lawyers. God needs lawyers to defend him to us. When we charge him with this and that, God needs a lawyer. So, what are the answers? I will not bore you with the answers. Let suffice it to say, if you knew the answers, you would be underwhelmed. You would not be convinced. There is a professor called Professor Herman, Arthur Herman of the University of Hawaii, Department of Philosophy there. He wrote a book, The Problem of Evil in Indian Philosophy. But he didn't limit himself to Indian philosophy. He got these answers. Why is there evil? Why is there suffering in the world if God exists? What could be the answer? He got not one or two or three, but 23 answers. From the different philosophies of the world, different religions of the world, even from literature, he got 23 answers. Now the point is, the last answer he takes up is the law of karma. Why is there suffering? Because of causality, cause and effect. We have done certain things, the results of which we are getting good and bad. We are doing certain things, the results of which we will get. Why? Because it's cause and effect. The world functions on causality. So he says the law of karma is the best answer to this question. Why is there evil and suffering in the world? Look, it protects God. God is omniscient. God is all-powerful. God is all-loving. But he has given us the power of choice and the law of karma. As we exercise our choice, the law of karma comes and helps us or kicks us, depending on what we do with it. There he has added a chapter, defects of the law of karma. He has shown the defects of all the other 22 answers. None of them are worth considering, he says. But the law of karma is, he says, it is accepted by all schools of Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, all the Indic religions. Even in the Abrahamic traditions, in Judaism and all, you will find the core of the law of karma. As you sow, so shall you reap. It's there. Yeah. Then defects, there are defects. There are severe defects he has pointed out, those defects in one chapter. I will not go into that. That's why I said it's not an adequate explanation of the problem of evil. But I did not say it's a poor explanation. In fact, Professor Herman says it's the best we have. All the other explanations don't come up to that. You know what are other explanations? I'll give you some. One is character-making explanation. God makes us suffer so that we'll be stronger. Suffering makes you stronger. Well, in some cases it does, but in many cases it does not. A baby is born in a starvation-prone area and starves to death. How did it become stronger? An animal suffers. Animals suffer helplessly. A dog suffers and dies. How did it become stronger? So in many cases, suffering does not really make you stronger. It can just destroy a person. So this is one answer. Another answer is, no, there is no suffering because this is the best of all possible worlds. See, God created the world, but there is some limits to creation. So the best he could do was this. Very poor, I must say. Vivekananda says in a fit of annoyance, I could have created a better world. So these answers, there are 22 such theories, different theories, and which have been held by different philosophers, theologians over time. So one is the free will answer. We have free will, so we have created this mess. That's a major answer. The Catholic Church holds that. So God has given us choice, but then why is our choice so badly loaded that we are so prone to mistakes? 99% are not saints, not 99.999% are not saints because we tend to misuse this free will. Why do we tend? Because we are so constituted. Why did God not constitute us all to be saints? We had free will, we'll use free will and become saintly. So even that argument is not so nice. So these are the reasons why theories are discarded. Karma is taken as an explanation, and it is as he says, it is quite adequate, but there are defects. If you're interested in what are the defects of the law of karma, you can go to that last chapter of Herman's book. You will see he has set it out. Yes. But remember one thing I must say. Karma is not the final thing in spiritual life. It's causality. Remember this again and again. Sri Ramakrishna did not like too much of karma talk. When somebody said, we get the result of what we have done. And Sri Ramakrishna says, oh, I see you are one of that kind of people. You know what such people will think next? I will get God realization if I do these things. So the result will be God realization. No, God realization cannot be held as a result of your efforts. It depends on the grace of God. The karma kind of calculation comes in. I've done this, and then the fear comes in. I have done so many things. I'm going to get it back now. Sri Ramakrishna says, the law of karma is transcended by the grace of God. Concentrate on God, on bhakti, on spiritual realization. If you don't like God and God talk, then concentrate on the fact that, as Vivekananda says, far beyond name and form is Atman ever free. That one is beyond karma, that fourth one we talked about. Where is karma? Waking, dreaming, deep sleep. In waking, dreaming, deep sleep. In consciousness itself, there is no karma. So you are actually free of karma. Stay with that if you like the path of knowledge. Or if you don't like that, then stay with the God idea. God is free of karma and will take us beyond karma. Hold on to God. In the meantime, it's good to know that cause and effect are real and be careful in life. Swami Vivekananda said, one must know how to work the machine so that the machine will set you free. You can't run away from the machine. It will catch you. And you'll get mangled if you try to run towards the spokes. At the axle of the wheel, you can hold on to something. If you move out too much to the spokes of the whirling wheel, you get mangled by the law of karma, crushed and twisted. So, all right. I think I've answered all the three questions. You have a follow-up question? No, somebody? Yes, please come.
My name is Sam.
Please tell us your name.
Sam.
Sam.
All of that is really great and everything. You just said karma was fair. Fair.
Yeah.
I don't think karma is fair because how did my karma start? That's my one, after 45 years of seeking, that's my one question.
Right.
Why do I suffer? How did it start, my ego and my karma?
That is a question which Shankaracharya asks in his commentaries, where he cuts down the law of karma. Ultimately, you would expect a non-dualist will not accept the law of karma either, right? Because ultimately only Brahman exists and there is no karma there. So one of the questions he raises is, karma is cause and effect, right? Cause comes first and effect later. So there's a chain linked one to another. Then if you go back, what is the result of past karma? What was that the result of? The karma in the life before. Then this question will come, what Sam is asking. How did it start? How did it start? It started, how does any karma start? There's a chain which, follow this, there's a chain which Shankara gives. Avidya kama karma. Ignorance, desire, karma. What does it mean? We do things and we get the results. That is the law of karma. But then the question comes, why? I've not forgotten your question. Your question was a time question. When did it start? But before that, I'm going into a little deeper.
When and how?
Okay, how? I'm taking up the
When,
how.
why?
Why, how? Let me take up the why and how. The when will be explained by it. So the how or the why, I'm talking about that now. Let's take, instead of going back in time to the beginningless time or the creation of the universe, let's take it right now. Any karma we do now, why do we do it? And the answer in Vedanta is because we want something. It could be as simple as food, clothing, and shelter, or it could be, I want a cookie, or I want to earn a livelihood, I want a relationship. We engage in karma because we want. This is in Sanskrit called karma. Karma, action. Karma stands for both action and its results. So karma is action and result. Why? Karma, desire. Ask why. Why do we have desire? And the answer is avidya, ignorance. Ignorance of what? Our purnata, our complete infinite nature, we are already that, we don't know it. We don't know it, we don't feel it. It's nowhere in sight for us. And as a result, we think we are limited. I am this person. I need food, I need protection, I need praise, I need people around me, I need entertainment, I need to stay young, I need not to die. So all of this comes from a sense of incompleteness, smallness, finitude. I find myself limited in time, I will die. Limited in space, I am this little guy, here is this vast universe. And caught in causation, time, space, and causation. Results keep coming to me. So this is ignorance, avidya, in Sanskrit avidya. Now the chain is complete. Avidya, kama, karma. Ignorance leads to desire. Why? What's the link? Because ignorance makes me feel incomplete. Then how do I try to complete myself? The big mistake I make is not looking at myself but looking at the world. What do I find in the world? I find a mind, a person. What do I find? A body. What do I find? A world. Now this body and mind, they need things. And I spend the rest of my life feeding the body, clothing the body, satisfying the desires of the mind, and that's how it goes on. And it generates karma. So remember the chain. Avidya, kama, karma. Ignorance, and ignorance not of physics, chemistry, or biology, but ignorance of our real infinite nature. Leading to desire, in between is incompleteness. Leading to desire, and desire leading to karma, and karma gives its consequences. Now, I suspect Sam will ask.
Yes, I am.
Sam is going to ask.
How did it start?
How did it start? I said karma started because of desire. Okay, how did desire start? It started because of the feeling of incompleteness. Where did this feeling of incompleteness come from? Because it comes from ignorance of our complete nature. We don't know it. Now, Sam's question there will be, how did ignorance start? Then this ignorance, you're finally driving it back to ignorance. How did this ignorance come about?
How did I become an individual?
How did the individual come about?
How did I become an individual?
How?
God created me for his Leela.
Yes.
So,
if you have answered your question, if God created you for his Leela,
so karma is not fair. So karma is not fair.
No, wait. Karma is not fair. In the dualistic world, this question will come up because you are creating a difference between you and God. But what we are doing in non-dualism is that there's no difference between you and God. You as the person, Sam,
right,
is subject to karma. But right within you, the real you is present right there. And the real you is not limited to the person, Sam. It's an infinite awareness which experiences itself as Sam now. If it forgets itself, that's ignorance. Then it thinks, I am Sam and only Sam. And then you're trapped. But if you're not only Sam, you are one consciousness. Here you are Sam, there you are Sham, there you are Ram, there you are John, here you are Swami. Then you begin to have a sense of limitlessness and your sense of suffering and complaint goes down. But let me come back to the interesting philosophical question. If you push it further that way, you say then all of it goes back to ignorance of our real nature as Brahman. you might ask, I am Sam and I'm comfortable with the fact and I have Sam's problems. But now you're adding something new. You are telling me that I have a Brahman nature. I thought I was a pot. You're telling me I'm clay. I have a Brahman nature. Now I have an additional question. I have Sam's problems plus one more problem you've added. How do I not know that I am Brahman, that I am the Absolute, that I am the ever trouble-free, karma-free consciousness? How do I not know that? The answer to that is avidya or ignorance. And then Sam can come back with the first question. Okay, the same question stands. How did this avidya come? If I am the Absolute, how come I have ignorance? Right? So how did ignorance begin? Ignorance leads to desire, desire leads to karma. You know the chain? Avidya, karma, karma. Now the question is, how did ignorance begin? And here the answer will annoy you. The answer is, it is beginningless. There is no beginning to ignorance. When I've heard this, I know what is going in your minds, and I had the same question. That's a cop-out. What you call in New York, a cop-out? You're not answering the question. How did ignorance begin? Answer is, it's beginningless. It did not begin. It has no beginning in time. Can you explain that? How is that possible? Actually, it's pretty simple. Any ignorance is beginningless. The Professor J.N. Mahanti is a philosopher. He told me this. A very simple answer. Any ignorance is beginningless. Suppose I ask Sam, do you know Hindi?
No.
So no, I'm ignorant of Hindi, Swami. Now if I ask you, since when are you ignorant of Hindi?
Since I was born.
So before you were born, you knew Hindi?
Maybe in a past life.
But you have no knowledge of that.
No.
So you were in ignorance about your knowledge or ignorance. So ignorance was there before your birth also.
Right.
Right? Any kind of ignorance is beginningless. If I say I don't know Spanish, I have an ignorance about Spanish. When did this ignorance start? Beginningless. But the point is, ignorance can come to an end. The moment I start taking Spanish lessons or Sam takes Hindi lessons, the ignorance about Hindi begins to disappear. But ignorance is beginningless. So your question disappears into that beginningless ignorance. But the point is, you can do something about it. You can remove that ignorance through knowledge. And Vedanta provides, or why only Vedanta? Any kind of spiritual approach provides that knowledge to break through that ignorance. The monks in the Himalayas, when you question too deeply about this, like Sam, how did this ignorance come about? How did Maya come about? Their answer is, don't try to establish ignorance, try to remove ignorance. Their answer in Hindi is, Agyan ko siddh mat kijiye, agyan ko kaatiye. Try to cut down ignorance with knowledge. Don't try to look for the roots of ignorance. You'll never find it. In fact, it's because the whole thing is an appearance, you will find these fault lines everywhere. If you probe too deeply, you will end up with paradoxes. Even science is ending up with paradoxes today. When you probe really deeply, you don't get a neat picture tied up. The great logician, Kurt Gödel, the most brilliant mathematician, logician of his time, who was right here in Princeton, in fact. He's credited with that incompleteness theorem. So I don't understand it at all. It's terribly complicated mathematics. But basically, I gather the point of that whole thing is that if you have a consistent logical system, it will be incomplete at some point. And if you have a complete system, it will be inconsistent at some point. What do I mean by complete system? A dualistic devotional approach. If you ask such questions, why did this happen? Why did God create me? Where did karma start? The answer always will be, it's God's wish. It's the play of God. Now if you admit that, then it's consistent. God is there, whatever God does, fine. But it's not rational. It's not complete there. There's a gap left there. If you take Advaita, there is or Advaita, you can put it this way. Advaita is consistent, is logical and rational, but it seems to be incomplete at one point. There's an openness where Maya comes in. Yeah. And Dvaita is complete in one sense. That, yes, if you admit God and God does anything, so anything can be explained by the wish of God. It's complete, but it is inconsistent. Yeah, that's the better way to put it. That it's not very rational. At that point, you're giving up rationality. You're just saying, yes, I have to believe this. So we had to appeal to Kud Godel to answer Sam's question.